The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
You're listening to In the Corner with Benny Mac.
Acknowledge me.
Unfiltered.
Or was it one guy in an office who chose you who's not here anymore and we don't talk about it?
Uncensored.
I am the greatest Royal Rumble winner.
Shut up, bitch!
And unforgiving.
The only reason you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday.
Here's the man in the corner, Benny Mac.
Hello and welcome to In the Corner. This is Benny Mac. Hope you're doing well. On today's episode, me and Tyler will be chatting about Cody, Drew, Jacob and Finn Balor. Also, we discussed Javon Evans and that amazing cutter he did on Raw this week. And also, the storyline going forward for El Grande Americano.
Well, for SmackDown, one of the major takeaways has to be Cody Rhodes' promo. Actually, let's hit the rewind button because Drew McIntyre was entering through gorilla position. They were in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, Drew's always confident. I mean, if you look like him, I would be too. But Drew McIntyre, just to add some humor to the show, but seriously, he comes out there, he emerges walking toward the ring. Before the ring announcer could get his full name out, the overall introduction, here comes Cody Rhodes. I mean, he is angry because of what Drew has done to him via the Royal Rumble. Cody mentioned it. He was not even involved in the match. Things are going to change as long as Cody Rhodes is around. I believe Cody Rhodes sent McIntyre to the ring post and then sent him over the barricade. Of course, we had all the producers, agents, and referees trying to separate the two, and eventually they did. And Cody Rhodes he's always possesses this natural ability when he's delivering a promo. And it was no different here. He was talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, his roots going back to Dusty Rhodes. He was talking about not on my watch, Drew McIntyre. And as much as he respects Roman Reigns and CM Punk, he's heard about, this measuring stick contest for WrestleMania. Well, they better be glad he's not in it because they don't call him Raheem for nothing, which we talked off air, Benny. I'm not sure about the Raheem reference, but it was funny. And I will say, Cody Rhodes is so passionate with his words. He's articulate. He's well-spoken. He is the American Nightmare. You see why this gentleman is one of the faces for the WWE and all of professional wrestling. He is tremendous on the microphone, and it carried over with this intense issue between he and Drew McIntyre. It was unbelievable. He was spitting. It was showing. I mean, he was in a fit of rage if you're spitting. I mean, not only saying something.
Yeah.
So give me your opinion on it.
Ori the draw quickly. Raheem, you're laughing at that, what you just said as well. And Cody as well. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Ori, as well. It's been a while. Hope you're well. Yeah. Well, first off, attacking Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, is very much a heel thing to do. Let's face it, it's a very, normally that's a Drew thing to do and stuff. But yeah, the way they stitch these nights together now is very good because you have that happen. I don't know if we're going to have, it's not been announced yet, so we've still got people to qualify for the Elimination Chamber to face Drew, or I'm assuming we've already, we've not had any inkling yet of whether there's going to be a WWE Championship match at Elimination Chamber, which again could add a lot more different ways you could go with this. The general consensus is that the WWE Championship match, at least because Roman and Punk is locked in, unless something happens at Elimination Chamber with Finn Balor, but we'll get onto that a bit later. But it seems to be very much the general consensus that the WWE Championship match isn't going to be a one-on-one. It might be a triple threat or a fatal, because of other like Jacob Fatu, for instance, being very much involved with Drew believing that Drew was the person that took him out still. And we still haven't had any closure on that yet, or any inkling that other than that Jake Fatu is... the promo was good, though. It was a good way to open the show. It was, it's nice to... And then throughout the show, Drew trying to come out again to say what he wanted to say, and then having been attacked by Jacob as well. It was very good, to be fair. But to me, normally I would say that points to a WWE Championship match at Elimination Chamber, but we've had no real say on that yet. So whether we find out more this week on SmackDown, whether we will have so potentially we could have two chamber matches, and also in terms of men's and women's, but we could also be having two world title matches in theory. But they've kept away from that. I've noticed, one sort of might get put onto the next one, but it could, if Finn beats Punk, could that lead to a triple threat with Finn? But I don't know. Finn. I was thinking about this earlier. Finn for me is a bit like Drew McIntyre in a sense of you felt for Drew because of COVID, and he won his first championship against Brock Lesnar, which is a big thing. But it was during the pandemic era where there was nobody in attendance, which sucks. So it's nice for him to have. I'd like to see him enter the WrestleMania with the title personally, just to have that. I know he's won the title back, but it'd be nice to have that WrestleMania moment for him. But on the same, I know Finn didn't have the pandemic era to deal with, but he won the Universal Championship. He's the first ever Universal Champion, and then obviously in the match against Seth got a shoulder. Can't talk today, mate. Shoulder injury.
Oh, you're fine.
And then literally had to give up the title. And then since then, all right, yeah, he went to NXT and was NXT champion again and stuff, but he's not had and he had some good title matches, but I feel like he's thing is, you can make a list of about 5 or 6 people, but like Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, definitely a top 3 for me, like who are Finn and Sami, and Drew was overdue, but obviously he's got the title now. But Finn is one of those, in the same conversation, I think, as Drew, that hasn't really had his due, I think, in a way, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it makes a lot of sense because it goes back to his promo. Drew McIntyre talked about the COVID era, the pandemic, and about how the SmackDown roster should be more appreciative of having Drew be a representative for that brand, because Drew McIntyre expects the best. I mean, we saw Trick Williams. It was a nice rub because the lemon peppers steppers.
Pepper steppers, yeah.
I love it. And he's over. I mean, when his music hits, whoop that trick. And I didn't watch a lot of NXT, but I did see some of his matches. He's very impressive. He's as big as Drew, or I guess with those steppers he is. I mean, because Drew's also, with the stature, but they're close. And I love how Drew said, I'll stick them up there where the sun doesn't shine, meaning, hey, I'm proud of you for showing some confidence, but I'm still Drew McIntyre. And the way Drew addressed Roman Reigns, too, and CM Punk said, Roman Reigns, you better be thankful you didn't have your Samoan army, or I would have whipped your tail. And for you, Phil, not calling him just CM Punk, calling him by Phil Brooks, his real name, are you going to have a temper tantrum again? If you lose, are you going to walk out? I mean, I'm the best in the world. I'm the champion. So another dig at CM Punk. So I love how they're keeping it intense between not only Cody and Fatu, but also Drew McIntyre with his history with both CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I think they're doing a nice job. These promos resonated for me, BenNy, and this is why Raw and SmackDown, these episodes to me got better. Not that they haven't been good, but I feel like they're stepping it up with Elimination Chamber on the horizon, and now the road to WrestleMania too, right after Rumble. Yeah. So we're starting to see a build, but you're correct in the fact that we're seeing things done a little differently creatively, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. It's all what your preference is, actually. So you brought up some fascinating points with your hypothesis there. If
you're a long-term fan as well, to be excited or to be shocked by an event or something that happens, it is few and far between sometimes. But recently you could sit here 5 years ago and go, yeah, that's going to happen, and 9 times out of 10 you were right. Now I feel like I mean, I'm not saying I got Liv right in the Royal Rumble, like who to win it, but I didn't get the men's right, so I was half right on that one. But like the fact that I don't know, or I can't quite predict what what we've been conditioned to in the past, and now we're sort of they're throwing in these things of like, and it's even leading to some not backstage, but internet talk about like, oh, Triple H hates this person. Triple H, you don't. No, based on Unreal, I would say he doesn't hate anybody. He just wants to put on the best show as possible. But I digress, because there was something I wanted to bring back to you. You said about the promo with Drew. It was really good. I agree. I like the fact that he acknowledged, no pun intended, what Roman and CM Punk were saying. And actually, who do you think you are? I'm the WWE champion. This title is just as important, if not more important, than the World Heavyweight Championship at the moment, because of the title, being. But something I wanted to pick, what I liked. Now, we could be looking back at this by Survivor Series going, this was the start of it. But for a good couple of years now, they haven't just jumped in to Raw versus SmackDown, which they could have easily done for War Games and all this kind of stuff. They haven't done it. But we've had little moments with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis and other different wrestlers making little comments about, I'm a SmackDown person, you're a Raw person. Drew saying that, and I'm going to paraphrase a bit, but Drew saying, if you're a SmackDown superstar, you should be like it was almost like a call to arms from Drew in his promo, that you should be upset that what they've said on Raw, they're basically calling SmackDown like the B show, and you should be it's all, and it's only like it was literally out of all that promo, it was probably like less, it was probably 5-6 seconds that he mentioned it. So, and there's been things said with the two general managers and stuff in the past as well. So I think we will have a Raw versus SmackDown at some point, but they're not just jumping to it for the sake of it. Because when they did it, like, I didn't really care. I mean, the biggest thing they did, I think, in recent history was the NXT invasion. Was probably the closest thing that I actually was interested in. Because Raw versus SmackDown, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I'm not.
Well, because you saw that certain stars on each other's shows, so it lost the appeal of it. It's a separate entity. And then when NXT comes in with the tanks, it's like, oh, there's war coming. I mean, now we see another brand coming in to invade the show. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So whether it is going to be a Raw versus SmackDown, I don't think it's going to happen in the next year. But maybe it could happen by Survivor Series. We've got a lot of time between now and Survivor Series, but it's just little nuggets of
little hints,
that this could be now, because again, we're still having, like you just said, we're still having people like we've had Liv being on SmackDown because she's a Rumble winner, and we've had the people going on different shows to do different matches and stuff, or just to be there. So yeah, I don't know whether it will be anytime soon, but the fact that they're laying that little sprinkle of like, you should be offended, as a Raw superstar said this about SmackDown. Oh, okay, maybe we might have something down the line. It's a bigger story there, I think. But with the WCW, WWF thing, because they were genuine companies apart, and then obviously it was all brought out by WWF, WWE, it had more. I know a lot of people shit on in the Invasion era, but yes, it could have been better. It could have been probably a lot better. But what I saw of it, I actually really enjoyed. Yeah, all right, they had to pepper in some WWF guys and women to make the roster a bit more bulky on the other side. But story-wise, I was invested right up until that Survivor Series match they had to determine who the winner was going to be, So as long as you tell a good story is probably what I'm getting at there. We've got to talk about Javon Evans. And
we got to.
That match they had with the original El Grande, which I wasn't sure if it's still Chad Gable or not. I'm still not sure whether it is. But when he did the Gracias, I'm pretty sure it's Chad Gable. So I'm happy with that. He's just grown himself.
It's giving it away. Yeah. Some of the expressions by via his hands.
Are we going to have a match at Mania between the Grandes to like have a stake of who is the original Americano? I don't know.
Well,
but
I think that's possible, though. You can't always buy into the rumors, but it may be where they're going is having both the El Grande Americanos facing each other, which we believe is Kaiser. That's why we haven't seen him. He's been under a mask, but let's discuss it. That was, speaking of a highlight. I mean, my goodness gracious. Yeah.
So in terms of the Grande storyline, me and you said back when it first started, we had a bit of a hiatus with the podcast, obviously, so it's been a while since we've actually spoke about it, but both of us were kind of excited by it, and kind of, it's got the comedic value of it, of course, but it's also got legs. And I thought when Chad got hurt, oh God, we're going to lose our Grande, he can catch a break. And then all of a sudden, this taller, slimmer El Grande come out of the woodwork, and it turns out to be Kaiser, as far as we're aware. And I was like, okay, cool. And now we're starting to get the payoff now with the original El Grande Americano coming out.
I mean, everybody's seeing it.
It's absolutely absolutely amazing. Ori, Javon gives me early Kofi vibes, cranked up to 20, and I'm loving him. He's only like 21, 22, something like that.
He's
Javon
very
Evans
young. I'm feeling bouncy, Benny. I don't know about you, but I'm bouncy.
bouncy.
I mean, yeah, I love it.
So a while back, Cody and Carmelo Hayes had a match on SmackDown when Carmelo first came up, and I think because Cody does the second rope cutter, doesn't he, normally, where he jumps off the second rope, hits the cutter.
Yeah, he does, wear the second rope.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do that on a SmackDown episode, and they got the timing wrong completely, and Cody ended up landing on his back, and it didn't. I mean, the match went on, and we've moved past it, and Carmelo Hayes is doing well and stuff, US champion, and Cody's obviously gone on to do well as well. But the timing to get Bravo, was it Bravo he hit with that?
I believe it was Bravo, the one that wears the blue mask.
That's it. The way Rio is red, Bravo is blue. That's how you remember it, basically. Apparently.
Okay, Corey Graves. Thank you. He tells Michael Cole is what I'm trying to get my words out to remind him who they are, because of course he's more familiar with them because they wrestle in AAA. So I think Corey Graves does color commentary there. So he's got the history.
Yeah. I've not watched too much of AAA, to be fair. I watched the one of the big events about 3, 4, 5 months ago.
I did too. I think it was the same one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But yeah, for Javon Evans to hit that cutter from there,
I mean, just think of the timing it took. Yeah, for those two guys and for him to hit it, and the aerial views, the camera angles were amazing. The way they caught even the pictures afterwards.
I think it was a drone shot, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was great.
It was,
and then he flies, in the heavens. I'm paraphrasing the comments Corey Graves, speaking of Graves, makes when he takes out the guy in the red mask. Who's the guy again? Because I'm not as familiar with the other Americanos, so I know Bravo's in blue.
Yeah, Rio and Bravo, and then
Rio was the guy that Evans took out. Okay.
But it was just, oh my God. I think I rewound it. I was like, oh, how the heck has he done this? And then they showed a slow-mo of it after, and it was like, dude, now, amazing, yes. Try to do that again and again and again. Could be problematic.
It'd be tough. Yeah.
I hope not. But Randy Orton's backstage going, dude's just killed my arm.
Yeah, he's probably like, hey, right, he's like, man, I've done this a lot. Now you've got this kid coming up doing the
only he could
the
jump
OG
off the top
cutter.
Rope.
Yeah,
I'd jump off the top rope and catch somebody mid-air. I mean, we had the Logan Paul Ricochet moment at the Rumble a few years ago where they both jumped up and smashed into each other, which was like,
correct.
Again, big future for.
I mean,
Javon
how do you
Evans.
top it? I mean,
absolutely. How do you?
But I mean, you ask the question. I mean, how does it get any more climatic or better in the way the athleticism and just the way the timing, and they made it
next time. I don't know.
Think up and be cohesive. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Hey, we got a hardcore match. Javon Evans do something to the table.
They need to bring the hardcore battle back, I think, for Javon, and stuff like that would be amazing. But also, obviously, Bravo that took it. I think it was Bravo that took it. But for him to do, for them to, just for both of them to get that right and live on TV is insane. I wonder how many times they practiced it. I mean, I remember watching an interview with Randy and Seth trying to do the Mania 31 where Seth went for the curb stomping, flipped up into the air, and he caught him into the RKO. Apparently they tried it through the day, couldn't hit it, and then they still tried to do it in front of the crowd, and they did it in front of the crowd. So it's just, I mean, Javon Evans, beg your pardon, is going to have a massive year, I think. Hopefully he stays injury free. He had a bit of a close call not long ago, but luckily okay. So, but yeah, what a moment that will be when they do I don't know where we are with Raw now, like 40 years of Raw, whatever it will be next, which will be next, 35 years of Raw, whatever the next anniversary is, that is going to be a highlight moment, isn't it, amongst all these other ones?
It's got to be. I mean, it's going to be one of those moments that's played and played. It goes back to the Shelton Benjamin where Shawn Michaels catches him with sweet chin music. When Shelton had to time it, it was remarkable. It makes me think of some of those viral moments. Because Javon Evans, him and Bravo to the teamwork. I mean, because it takes two to tango,
right.
Yeah, the original El Grande Americano taking on the imposter Kaiser, and then we believe it is Chad Gable. Just the hand gestures that you were mentioning, and the German suplexes, those tosses. I mean, to me, that's reminiscent and resembling Gable and his body type too. Gable was always in great shape, just not as tall as the new. And I'm one to talk because I'm not very tall myself, but so it's going to be intriguing. I mean, it's really a comedy routine, but both those guys are great wrestlers, though. I mean, so they can make it work.
Thank you very much for listening to In the Corner. If you want to hear the entire show, you can on YouTube at In the Corner WWE.